The premise for David and the Elves sounded really interesting. I was quite excited to watch this. It was recommended to me on Netflix based on obviously other films that I'd watched, and I was really looking forward to it. And unfortunately, there are so many things about this that I think could have been great, but which absolutely were not. And given that the overall rating on IMDb is 4.6 out of 10, I'm definitely not the only person who's feeling a little bit disappointed. This is a Polish Christmas film originally called David I Elfy. I'm not even going to pretend that I know how to speak Polish. But that is actually not something I knew when I was watching it. So, assuming it's been dubbed, pretty good work. I didn't pick it up at all. That is not a problem. It was released this year, and it's directed by Michał Rogucki, and the description from IMDb actually sums it up quite nicely. And this says, a jaded, overworked elf runs off to the real world where he tries to experience the magic of Christmas with the help of a newly befriended young boy. That sounds brilliant. I love it when the magic of Christmas enters, well, as it says there, the real world, and the elves, or sometimes Santa, or Santa's children, interact with mortals. But I found the character of David to be so dull. Nothing wrong with the acting. I thought the characters were all very well acted. The acting across the board was great. The casting visually worked very well as well. The costumes were brilliant. The set designs were lovely. But the narrative is not. Yes, I was keen to see what David would get up to when he spends time with mortals. But unfortunately, none of the adventure was very interesting. I felt like it failed to capture the Christmas magic that well, which is ironic since that's kind of what David was looking for, because he felt like, it made no sense to him that they brought Christmas joy to children every year, but they never got to experience, as elves, what Christmas is actually like for most people. And I feel like he didn't really experience some things that I would have expected from that kind of narrative. As a character to begin with, I liked him. I think he could have gone on to some really interesting things. His personality is fairly engaging. But after a while, it just got a bit monotonous and tedious, and unfortunately, it wasn't something that I enjoyed watching. Maybe for younger children, it might be quite interesting, but just based on the description and on the premise, and the fact that it's rated PG, kind of suggests to me that it was definitely aimed at more of a family, well, it is a family film, rather than just for children. It's an interesting concept. It's not a bad film from a technical perspective. As I said, the costumes are great, the set designs are gorgeous. I don't really remember the soundtrack, but certainly it wasn't jarring. The casting is really good, but the narrative just tried to be interesting and failed. Maybe a younger person, a young child, will enjoy the visual aspects, but if you're looking for something engaging, unfortunately David and the Elves just didn't quite do it.